Hello, everyone. I'm Lady Calamir. This is my channel. I welcome to it. I hope you are doing well. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. Happy Santa Muerte Day on November 1st. And Dia los Muertos, which just happened. And Happy Fete, which just happened. It's the celebrations are not done because Scorpio, the 15th degree, is when the true Samhain happens, and that this year is going to be November 7th when the veil is at its thinnest. Yes, when it hits Scorpio in the 15th degree. So sometimes that's happening November 4th, November 5th. This year it's November 7th. So, anyways, what are we talking about? We are talking about the goddess Itzpapalotl. Itzpapalotl is she was honored by different people in ancient Mexico, but she was adopted into, of course, the Aztec pantheon. So, in her name means obsidian butterfly. Some people say it's the clawed butterfly, but she is the obsidian butterfly. So we got a wonderful, wonderful card of her. Comes from this Dark Goddesses Oracle Cards by Barbara Miko John Free, Flavia Kate Peters, and designed by Kate Osborne. This you can get on Amazon, eBay, or your local occult store. So we see the card here, Purification. That's one of the things she does. So let's talk about her and some of the misunderstandings about her. Itzpapalotl is a star lady. She's one of the star deities. She's Zimoto, and plural it would be Zizminme. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. People like to say star demon. And here's my problem with it. She is she's one of the wrathful deities, yes. I mean, some people would classify, oh, must be a demon. And immediately people get turned off because, well, we put in modern sense that demon is evil, no good, and destructive. She is wrathful. I'm gonna say this. She is a dark lady. She will fuck someone up. However, she was also beneficial, especially to women and pregnant women, and for fertility. So she was the queen of these star deities. And there were many layers of the underworld and the Aztec stories and the Aztec. I hate saying myths because myths is like this. Yes and no. I mean, we say mythology as in something story of fake stories. And the only thing and the Christian, of course, the Judeo-Christian, the only thing that's real is our religion. Your religion is all fake. But she belonged. Her kingdom was a. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Tamoanchan kingdom, and that was part of the land on the world she was in. Shadow, why? I just fed you. Don't shake your head no. I've just fed you. So this is the land, back to what I was saying. Her kingdom, the Tamowanchan, was, it has a significance where when women died in childbirth, they would go there. When the baby died in the womb or was stillborn, the soul of that child would go there. Also interesting to note that when humans were created, or were they recreated again after one world ends, is that the bones were stolen from the deep underworld, Mictlan. I believe it would be where new life was created, and that land where we were created. So it represents new life as well. Now, obsidian butterfly, that's interesting to note too, because in folklore, ancient folklore, a black butterfly usually meant bat. So that's also interesting, and I'm going to get into how she shows herself a different way. And I don't know why I feel dizzy today, but her type of moth is actually not described. It's not totally black. It's actually almost like this color, but it's a darker butterfly. It's actually a moth. And I'm just trying to remember the name. I actually might restart this video. I'm sorry. Actually, no, because I'm already 8 minutes into this. But it's actually a very beautiful. It's called the Rothschild or Biza, which is a Saturnidae moth. Now you'll notice that, yes, she deals with the dead. Well, why isn't she like all blacks and whites, or maybe just black, red and white? So why is she so colorful? Why does she look so cheerful if she is a dark goddess? If she's a, okay, so if you look at pictographs of her, they have this color, like the oranges and greens, and you'll see the beautiful other different colors to her. You really will. You'll see reds, you'll see yellows. And, okay, so the ancient Mexica people, the ancient, even the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Nahuatl people, the people who spoke Nahuatl, which is the language of the Nahuatl, they were very colorful. That was part of their life. That was part of their culture. That they were very colorful people, and even their afterlife was depicted as colorful. It wasn't gothic looking like black, just blacks and whites and silver. It was colorful. So she also sometimes would show herself like her face will turn skeletal, will, or with white skull face paint. And these spirits that she ruled over were considered the fallen star spirits. And she is fierce. She's immensely powerful. She's dealing with death. And she's going to deal with devastation and destruction, but she also deals with life. So she is the goddess of who rules darkness. And I just got this altar cloth in today just to talk about her, and this is a perfect representation. As you see, with shadow sitting on a black butterfly. Let me take it off this. Please don't turn off on me. And you see all these magical symbols because she's going to deal with sorcery. I love it. And the different phases of the moon, and you see the stars because that's where she comes. That's part of what she is. And you see the eclipse. You see how it's eclipsed there? An eclipse. That's very important to keep in mind. So, she is a spirit of the night, the spirit of shadow. Oh, fuck. And she also deals with the eclipse. The eclipse is for her is a sacred time, and it was a scary time for many ancient peoples. They thought that a beast or a monster was eating the sun. So the stars that were seen around the sun were considered her spirits. It was considered the Zizi Mime. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And it was said it was her time to attack. That she wants to attack the sun. Her and her horde would attack the sun and then ride down to Earth and kill as many people as they can. She would fight the warriors. And a lot of them were seen as like the size, a huge size of like 50 feet. Wearing skeleton, they would wear skeletal, like skulls and bones on it for their skirt, so you would hear the clanking of the bones together. So every 52 years was a dangerous time in the Aztec calendar. I believe that's what they called a century back then with the Aztecs, and it was a time to do rituals to make sure that, you know, the end didn't happen. So during times of drought, it was safe against her. And I believe I've seen the lore about that. And also during daylight, she wouldn't appear. But at night, she's a night spirit. So Itzpapalotl is considered also a zizimito, which is singular for zizimime, which is plural. And she was considered very scary. but also very beneficial, depending. So during the eclipse, during the solar eclipse, it was her time to attack. She's a warrior goddess. So every 52 years was also her time. And her the sacrifices were given to her. Yes, she is a goddess of sacrifice. She's also a goddess of obsidian. Yes, Tezcatlipoca is also the god of obsidian. His name literally means smoking mirrors. If you're interested in Tezcatlipoca, please look at my video, my channel. I have one on him. So her, I'll give it to you. So flint, white flint, obsidian, and copper are her materials. Especially the obsidian blade and obsidian mirrors. So the animals that deal with her, the bat, black, like the moths and butterflies, especially the rough cheetah, the black moth, eagle has been associated with her, and even deer. So the Roth's Childea, Orizaba. It's a saturnid. Like, I guess it's like a silk moth that's associated with her. Stars are a good attribute for her. But she also shows herself as a woman with these black wings. She has and she's pretty ferocious looking too. So she has these these wings with also, they are tipped with obsidian blades. Her hands have jaguar claws, and her feet are that of eagle talons. She could be very gorgeous looking, but also very ferocious, especially with the skull face. She is a ferocious warrior. She knows how to hold her own in battle. She's also been seen like dressed up as a lady of the old Aztec court, and that her face is thickly powdered or caked white, like her face is thickly caked with white face powder. She also is said to have an invisibility cloak, so she may not be invisible to all. So she has that power of invisibility. It also says that she has obsidian blades coming out of her eyes and out of her sexual orifices. And the knives that were used to sacrifice were obsidian blades. Obsidian gets pretty sharp. Could be downright deadly, but make a clean cut. Cleaner than metal. Some even finer than some of the stainless steel scalpels that are used in surgery. Itzpapalotl, I I would not refer to her as some type of devil. Yeah, she may not play with nice with others. She may not play fair. Some deities are like that. They don't play nice with others. It's sort of like she's a dark goddess, sort of in the vein of Dhumavati, Chinnamasta, Ekati, which is Hecate, Kali, but it's her pronunciation is Ekati in Greek, but we call her Hecate here. Like, she reminds me of a Lilith character in some ways. I'm not saying they're the same, but when the Spanish conquistadors came, of course, she was more and more demonized. So, one legend says that she fell from heaven along with toads and scorpions. She is said to eat people during their solar eclipse because apparently we taste good with just a little bit of ketchup. And I'm not in any way being disrespectful. That's like Cthulhu. Cthulhu thinks you are tasty and crunchy and go good with ketchup. But definitely, the times to call her appropriate times would be nighttime and the solar eclipses. You should, if you call her with respect and you treat her with dignity and you know what she's about, you will fare well. She's probably not the most approachable, and maybe she's not for the beginner, especially if they fear the darker side of reality in life. You may want to study more and be more sure of yourself. And I just love how this is like just crystals, black crystals. And this looks like almost like coffin-like right here. This is a really cool one I just got from Amazon. And the flowers, roses, I mean, yeah. I would also, like to give her, another thing that you can give her is definitely smoky quartz. Especially, some people don't like it in their home, irradiated quartz, smoky quartz. I got some, I'll show you. Stay right here, Shadow. Keep people entertained, all right? And I'll show you why. Yes, this is irradiated quartz. But look how black it is. Look how lovely. That would be such a nice gift for her. Or to work with her with. Sometimes some people, visualize her less than, of course, 50 feet or smaller as a moth, but she's not going to be pushed around. She can hold her own. And she could be ferocious, like the Xena warrior princess type. And she's good for feminine strength. For women to call on those inner strength, or be beautiful, but be strong and take no shit, and to be powerful. She could really help us with that. She can help us tap into our inner magic, into our inner crossroads, to realize that we are flesh meeting spirits, that we have spirits all around us, that magic is all around us, like the crossroads. The physical meets the metaphysical. The natural meets the supernatural. Life meets death. The land of the living and the other side. She can help us realize it. And to see things in such a colorful way. To see not just life is colorful, but death and the other side is colorful too. Now the flint was used to represent her being ascending instead of just falling. So the flint knife, as well as the obsidian knife, was sacred to her. The black and the white stone. Now, the way she's described, also, the clawed butterfly, and the way I described her, a butterfly with, again, the claws of a jaguar and talons of an eagle. Sounds like a bat, in that she's a night creature. She's a, not creature, but she's a night deity. Sorry, not creature. The bat is a nice creature. That sounds like a bat to me. Obsidian butterfly sounds... When I first heard about her, I was like, that sounds like a bat. And I've only known her for about less than 5 years. So she's a newer goddess for me. I believe I've heard of her before, but I really didn't pay too much attention. She wasn't in my lens of focus. She wasn't in my spectrum, shall I say. But I found her to be very interesting. I said, I want to know more about her. And there's a lot of... she's got a lot of... awesomeness about her. But people did hold her in awe. People did hold her in fear. People did fear her back in the day. They did fear before pre-Columbian Mexico, during the pre-Columbian times. People did fear her. They respected her too. But they also realized that she has goodness about her. And did you know that her land, her paradise, Itzpapalotl paradise, or her other side, the land of the dead, that she, like I said, she takes in women that died in childbirth and stillborns, that the trees are described having like nipples for the babies to drink from. Skulls can also be used for her. So you could put images, if you wanted to, say if you wanted to start building an altar to her. It could be temporary or permanent. You want to get images of moths, butterflies, bats, bones. You could put images of stars. And since she said people have associated eagles with her and jaguars with her because of her claws, you could put that there. But definitely night creatures are definitely associated with this lady. Things that come out at night. But definitely bats and people associated with deer. You want to put her stones there. Some people even give her jade. But it's more of I think that's more of a newer thing, but I know obsidian, copper, flint. Also, when you think about smoky quartz and irradiated quartz, of course, that's more of a new thing. And pictures of solar eclipses, powerful warrior woman, skeletal figures. But you also want to make it color. As you see these colors, like here, like the yellows and blues and browns and oranges. She also deals with purification. She is said to purify people. She is to purify those who come into her realm so that they can be born again, reincarnation. So that's something else. To get rid of the toxins in your environment, in yourself. To get rid of weakness and fear and things that fester. Things that you swept under the carpet are locked in your own inner closet. And it festers. Whatever's been harboring, whatever you've been harboring, whether it's dark secrets, ill health, maybe a trauma, sadness from that. It could be ill health, money troubles, maybe you have a problem that you just don't want to talk about. Maybe you were a veteran of foreign wars. You're a combat veteran. Something that you've been allowing to fester. She offers a path to new hope, to purification. She helps you to face your trouble like a warrior, so that you have power and that it does not overpower your life. She can help you take the first incredible steps into this, your power. Your own inner light. So she is a goddess of purification. She also deals with fertility. So she can fertilize good things within you. And yes, she is used for cursing. So she can make things fester in people. Yes, she is used for hexing and cursing. She's definitely the archetypical purifier. And like I said, in her land, Tamil Anchan is where humans were created. So, what else can I talk about this goddess? And she is a dark goddess. She can help you shine like a star in the night sky. Have you ever looked into the sky where there's no light pollution and see how bright it can be? How the heavens just light up sometimes? That's her power. She's the dark light. She's the dark night. And she's beautiful to behold. It is also said that she can tempt men and crush them. She's a shamanic goddess. She's a witch. She's a powerful sorceress. So of course that's her people. She is said to have been, there's a story about her, a mortal woman who died in childbirth, and she transformed into Itzpapalotl. She is also deals with crossroads spirits. And the crossroads. Interesting how I was bringing up the crossroads. I mean, you've heard of magic about the crossroads at night. Itzpapalotl, in some sources I also find that a vulture, especially the royal or king vulture, is sacred to her. That's just some sources I found about her. I'd be a bad presentator if I didn't tell you this. And I've actually have a dizzy spell today, so I keep like closing my eyes, and we see shadow is still here. I think it's just the medicine I took today, so that I have to take, and I'm getting used to. Oh well, I should have taken it more. It says to take more late at night, but whatever. I took my cholesterol medicine so I wouldn't forget. Yes, I have high triglycerides. She was, and to believe it or not, she's one of the most feared. I have to say the one of the most feared mother goddesses in the Mexica pantheon. And specifically within the Toltec culture. She was also the lady of hunting, as well as I said before, sacrifices. So sorry, I just keep closing my eyes. I said, don't fall asleep during this video, please don't. So yes, the Zizit Meme is considered monstrous deities. I would say wrathful deities as well. I guess some people back then even feared her spirits as bringing on the apocalypse. Though again, she was also worshipped too, not just to keep away. I know there are some spirits in some cultures that you worship them to keep them away. But again, she did do some beneficial stuff. And there's some spirits throughout some cultures that are not beneficial, at all. And I'm not bringing it up, but they're also used to hurt people. So now, the sources she was also identified as the mother of Mixcoatl, Mixcoatl. Pretty important. Also an important god. So, also this deity also deals with coolness or coldness. Hi, Joker. Hello. Yes, we're doing a presentation. Oh, you want me to tell people something? Okay. Joker wants everyone to know that this is the anniversary that November 2nd is last year of 2021. I adopted and brought home Loki, Lofison, and the Joker. It's their anniversary, the first year anniversary of being here. And they were born September 2nd of 2021. Yeah. So you're a year and 2 months old. Joker, are you gonna come up here? I'm happy about that. So she also dealt with divination, and she could be used for like protective amulets. So she's also scrying, of course. Black mirrors, obsidian can be used for her. So she dealt with, like, her people would definitely be the sorcerers. Stop. Yuppie, you're not getting my iced tea. You can't get it. You can't get it. So, there's stories about Itzpapalotl where she gets burnt up and explodes into 5 flint knives of various colors. So, one of them, which was white, was later used to represent her too. And that her, I know some people have used, like they said, they used the ashes of Itzpapalotl after she was burnt around their eyes. I don't know the whole story with that, but just to, because I want to start wrapping this up because I've been 43 minutes into it. So, with some, according to some sources, this goddess has been, with the white flint knife, has been transmuted from a fallen star deity, a nocturnal, to a divinity, to a heavenly divinity when associated with flint. So this gives her a dual character of obsidian black, dealing with the dark, the ferocious, and the flint white of dealing more with heavenly. So Tezcatlipoca has like two sides of him like that, where he could be dark and foreboding to very giving, and he could turn a poor man to a rich man, and a rich man to a poor man. So some of the things that you may want to give her, what offerings would you give to her? Chocolate is very sacred. I would give her chocolate. All types of chocolate. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate. White chocolate's not real chocolate, but I would solid chocolate, chocolate with peanuts, chocolate with raisins is good for her. I would give her candies and sweets. I would give her some people. I know some people like to, take their own blood with the lancelets. I've never given her blood. I know some people would associate spicy things with her. You can give her some spirits like tequila. I know I give sometimes some of my spirits, deities, especially, like with Tezcatlipoca, I give them sometimes tobacco. So you can think about giving her some tobacco. You could give her things made of gifts made of obsidian arrowheads, obsidian knives, obsidian mirrors, obsidian balls, um, animal figurines cut, things that are nice, cut into that are made from obsidian. And obsidian is natural volcanic glass. You can give her agave syrup. So some of the artistic representations, they see that she's very colorful, but she's can also be seen very ferocious. So, like in the Bourbon Codex, so one of her representations is that she can be seen with a large red ribbon that ends in a large, like, Quetzal crest, which is like a feathered crest, and instead of like hands and feet, she has like large claws and wings, and decorated with flint. So other things. What are you doing, Joker? You're chewing on my dress. Stop that. Why are you doing that? You're distracting me. So sometimes she wears like a belt or a hem that has like human teeth, which is also back then a common accessories of necromancers and witches who did necromancy. Ooh. Stop it. So her nahual was a deer, a symbol of hunting, and among other things. So yeah, what was it? Whereas with Itzpapalotl, copper has also been, like I said, been associated because sometimes, like some of the warriors, an entire warriors of would have garments like sheets of copper, and on top of this is a figure of a butterfly. Just interesting that in cultures in Mexico would have that too, in ancient pre-Columbian Mexico. Again, I've only known her for less than 5 years, so I only can really tell you what I've learned about her, what I've researched, and just focusing my mind on her and seeing a beautiful, pleasant, for me, looking up at the stars is pleasant. I mean, I am a child of the night. Anyone would tell you that I'm a night owl. Joke, do you hear this? Joker's purring. He's on my lap. I don't know if you can hear this, but he's so cute. I wish he'd go in front of the camera and say hello to everybody. Shadow is just happy sitting on her card. So anyways, I would be very interested, have you ever worked with Itzpapalotl? And if I mispronounce any of the words, please drop me a line and let me know. I try to be as respectful as possible to the deities. If you want respect, you got to give respect. And very honorable, and approach them with respect and love and honor. And I try to pronounce everything as correctly as I can. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Please subscribe so that my channel continues to grow. What else do I want to say? Share this video with your friends and family and on Facebook. Right now, I pretty much have my eyes closed because I just don't like this dizzy spell. And I'm just focusing in on the goddess while I'm doing this and just feeling her coolness. I just felt a wave of like a chill go by me, and it felt very nice. It wasn't a bad chill. It just was like a nice coolness. It wasn't a clammy, like creepy chill. It just feels like it's almost like 4 in the morning and I'm outside and I'm alone in the wilderness and I'm just looking up at the stars and they're twinkling like diamonds. It's just so relaxing, so nice, and so mystical and magical, because that's what she deals with too. So anyways, other notices, I do want to mention that Braden Timmons, and I don't know the man personally, and I'm not being paid. My channel is not monetized. I don't have a Patreon account. So he's coming out with his second movie, which is his take on, he had Haddonfield Nightmare was supposed to be H2O Part 2. Now he's coming out with the the Haddonfield Nightmare Part 2. I forgot what he was calling it. The Nightmare Ends, I believe. And he says it's going to be so much better. And he's putting a lot of money, more money. It's going to be more money into this movie than his first. And it's going to have, the kill count is going to be insane. It's Michael Myers, and just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. And he's looking for people, check out his channel. Check out Braden Timmons. And check out his channel. Stop it. And see, he's also doing an Indiegogo. So he's looking for, crowd funding. And of course, he has perks that he can give out. So check that out. And I'm just trying to remember his channel. It's going to be called The Last Nightmare. Bat Productions, that's what it's called. But his channel is BRADENTIMMONS. So anyways, thank you for watching. I thank you so much. Shadow gives out his love. And stay cool, stay good to yourselves. If you have extra love in your heart, adopt a black cat. And adopt a pit bull if you're looking for a dog. Adopt a black what's a chocolate lab, because they're also looked over. And as always, be good to yourself, and as always, blessed be.